Alright, I'm going to demonstrate some front post stitches and back post stitches. I've got some half double crochets started here in the white. First I'm going to do front post double crochet. And you'll do it just like a regular double crochet. And instead of working on your top loops, you're going to work around the post of your next stitch. And just do a double crochet. And I'll do another one. All it is a double crochet that's worked around the post instead of the top loops. Now I'm going to do a couple back post double crochets. It's the same thing except you go around to the back and just do your double crochet. You can see there where it's worked around the post. I'll do another one. Now I'll go back to front post double crochet. Now I'll do a back post double crochet. Alright, now I'll just do a regular half double crochet. Then I'm going to do a double crochet to get my height up a little bit. Now I'm going to do front post treble crochet. So you do it just like you did with the front post double crochet, except you're doing a treble this time. We're putting it around the post from the front. I'll do it again. Front post treble. Now I'll do back post treble. And when you're doing these, you usually always skip the loops on top of the stitch you're working. I'll do another back post treble. Because sometimes in a pattern you'll come across, you'll be doing like a double crochet on your top loops. Then it wants you to do a front post stitch or a back post stitch. And then once you do that, you skip those two top loops and do your next stitch. Let's see, I'll show you. I'll do a double crochet in the next stitch on the top. And so now I'm going to do front post treble in the next one. Now when I go to make my next regular double crochet in the top loops, I'm going to skip those two loops there on the top and make my regular double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, now something I do in some of my patterns, I call it a double front post, back post, cross stitch, double cross. So I'll skip two stitches and make a front post treble in around the third post. Oops, maybe. And there's my first one, and I'll go ahead and do another one in the next stitch for another front post treble. Now this is where it gets a little bit trickier. I'm going to do a back post treble crochet in the first skip stitch. I only skipped one, so I messed that one up. So let's go back. So I need to skip 1, 2, and do my first front post treble in the third stitch. Then another one in the next stitch. Now I'm going to do the back post treble crochet in the first skip stitch. And do my treble. Now I'm going to do another back post treble in the second skip stitch. And that crosses those two treble crochet front post and back post stitches. Now I'm going to do it again. Skip that post, go into the third, Make my front post treble, do the next stitch, then I'll go back and work my 2 skip stitches with back post treble crochets. If you do a few hundred of these, your wrist will start hurting. Oops. I'll get the second skip stitch. Now I've done it twice. And when you stack these up, it makes kind of like a little cable. Because if I'm on the next row up, I'll skip these 2 front post stitches, and I'll put my next front post stitches into the back post stitches. And you really have to work to get into that first back post stitch to do a front post stitch as your first stitch. Then you do another one around the second stitch before you go back and do a back post treble on the first skip stitch, then another one on the second skip stitch, and it gives you that twisty look. Okay, now I'll go ahead and do a regular double crochet and just a regular front post treble. Back post treble. Front post treble. And if you, okay, I'm going to take it down to a regular double crochet, then a half double. Now what I'm going to do is a bunch of back post double crochets. And what this does, if you do a lot of them in a row, it gives you that ridge, which I like, of the top loops of your previous row. A lot of people are doing this, including me, because I like the way it looks. And if you do a bunch of rows like this, it looks really cool. It gives you a lot of thickness in your fabric, and it makes ridges. So yeah, that top chain stands out, the top loops. So that's a bunch of front or back post double crochets, and a front post treble with the back post treble double cross, front post trebles, back post trebles, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. The back post, you'll always get that little loop showing around the post, and if you look at the back, it'll be just the opposite. That's how you do front post and back post double crochets and treble crochets. Thank you.